Very nice to meet you.
Yes,
You worked on this car. I'm driving that. Well, hey y'all, and welcome back to Doug's Cars. I'll explain a little bit more about that intro scene in just a minute, but the purpose of today, it's December 31st. It's time to count down my top 10 videos by views of this past year. And I've had a lot of fun with cars this year, a lot. Despite all of the craziness that we've had to suffer through this year, I have had so much fun with cars and my car friends. Now, not every video on this list is something I thought would be here, and there are videos that I really thought should be on this list that aren't. I'm going to start off with a quick clip from when we came upon the Saab in the pond. I know Mike and I have watched this clip dozens of times, and I'm sure others have as well. And then we'll get moving on. This just makes me crack up every single time I watch it.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh!
It's actually floating!
It's floating? How the hell did you do that? I'm serious. That makes me laugh every single time, and I assumed that video would do better, but it didn't, and that's fine. You know, I seem to have gotten a lot more interest in my car reviews, which is kind of amazing to me because anybody and everybody does car reviews on YouTube. Now, some of these are unusual and or older cars, so there's a niche market, kind of like with all of my Range Rover stuff. But yeah, that video didn't do that well, and I assumed people would love to see a Saab coming out of the water. Anyway, on to number 10, which was the Doug short I did of when Troy bought an E32 BMW 735i, just kind of sight unseen. We happened upon it after a Sunday morning drive. Guy offered it. He bought it pretty much on the spot. I also talked over him pretty much the whole time he was talking about his car, which is probably why he has his own channel now. This thing sounds really good, man. Everything working on the dash?
It's all factory. I mean, I need the code, but the radio works.
Oh, radio code. I bet it's in the. I bet it's with the
this all still
manual.
works. It's got the factory old school radio detector.
Temps right up in the middle already.
Yeah. Probably old. It's probably the old fuel. The lights on?
Yeah, the lights are working. Yep. That was a pretty cool car. It had a few issues, and I know he ended up selling it on fairly quickly afterwards. He did some cleaning up and maybe a few mechanical issues, but otherwise, you know, that was a solid ride. Next up was from the first cheap car challenge we did back in the spring, my 409,000 mile Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo WJ. And this was the segment when I went and picked it up. I had never seen it in person, just in pictures. I caught an Uber back when that was a thing, up to about 15 miles away to where the Jeep was, and ended up driving it home. So here's me picking it up. Well, y'all, I've done this right. Here it is. This is a 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee with, no, you're wrong, 400,000 miles on it. So, yeah, this is the first time I've seen it. I bought it totally sight unseen. Let's take a look at this. That was a neat ride. I actually kept that Jeep for quite a while. It's now being used as a trail rig down in Eastern Virginia, from what I understand, which is a fitting life for it because it was a one-owner vehicle, basically. It didn't have a lot of maintenance done to it by that owner, unfortunately, but it deserves to live on and have a happy life in retirement. And yeah, I do miss it a little bit, but such is life. Next up, we have the Mercedes E600, which was a fantastic car to drive. An E600 was the Rentec customized version of the E500, which was already a Porsche-built Mercedes. Doug DeMuro had recently reviewed the 500 version, so I did my best to do an impression of Doug DeMuro. Whether or not it was any good, I don't know, but hey, this video was one of my top viewed of the year, so here you go. This is a Mercedes E600 Rentec, and this is an amazing rare performance vehicle. And now I'm going to drive it. I really like that car, and it just sounds fantastic. Go back and watch that video if you want to hear the exhaust note, especially for a 90s car that didn't really make a lot of exhaust noise then like they do in more modern cars. Next video, however,
in the list is one of my all-time favorites, and I love driving this one. This one also has a decent exhaust note considering what it is, but what's funny is what Alex from Sports Car Workshops pointed out to me on the video. This is the Buick Roadmaster that my buddy Reggie picked up, and it was delivered to Sports Car Workshops by the owner, hey Jerry, the previous owner I should say, and I drive into the parking lot, seeing it there in all its glory, right past a turbo V8 Lotus Esprit in bright yellow, and don't even mention it, so here you go. Oh, there it is, y'all. On Buick Roadmaster Estate. Yeah, I definitely am a member of Weird Car Twitter. Although the Roadmaster is, they made a lot more of those than the Lotus, even though the Lotus was made for like 40 years unchanged. So next up, we do one of my all-time favorite vehicles, really, because I even actually owned one. And this one still resides at my house. Also owned by my friend Reggie, who has that Buick estate wagon, and it is the Jeep XJ Cherokee. And here I make a very definitive statement where I say they should make these again, and then I would buy one. And I agree with that to this day. And this video is fairly recent. I filmed this over Thanksgiving weekend, and it's done really well. And I'm very, very happy about that because I just like this video. There's a reason they made these for 17 years. People kept buying them. And you know what? I bet if they reintroduced this right now, people would buy them again. It's just a solid, honest vehicle. I might be in line for one. Now, my childhood favorite car, other than the Porsche 959 when that came out, but that was a little bit later, was the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, or Wagoneer at the time. But yeah, I've never owned one. I've wanted one. Thankfully, I have a friend who, in the last two vehicles, also owns this Wooderson, the Wagoneer. And I went out of my way to do this. I even ordered a members only jacket just so I could appear more 1980s. I actually have worn it a couple times since then, so it wasn't a complete waste. But here I am, introducing the Wagoneer with my epaulettes. These epaulettes and this members only badge here tell you that I got something very special to bring to you. Something very 1980s. The 1987 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. I would really love to have one of these, but I think I want the Wagon Master one that's already been completely sorted and is equipped with fuel injection. Sadly, this one is not yet equipped with fuel injection, but it will be, right, Reg? It will be. And I will make sure that there's a video of that when that's done. Maybe even some of the installation work. We'll see if I have time, because it'll be done during the day when I have a day job. So moving on, we are getting into the top 5 now. We are actually in the top 4. This one came just out of left field. I was on a business trip up in the Washington, D.C. area in Northern Virginia, and I happened to bring my camera with me because why not? I noticed that the DC Auto Show was going on, and this was in late January, so like a month and a half before COVID hit, back when giant auto shows were a thing. So I decided to try out just some fun here and do my best to copy Watch JR Go, where he gets gas and he does things like that, where he always takes these little vignettes. So this is me going from the parking garage into the DC Auto Show. I just thought this was kind of fun. I did drive my M4 up here, but I'm not going to be driving to our destination today, which is the grand opening of the DC Auto Show. So let me shut this up. Let's head upstairs and take the metro into DC. Well, yeah, we made it to the auto show. Auto shows. Hopefully soon we can go to one of those again, and that's indoors. I've been to a couple outdoor ones and Cars and Coffee and all that, but they're not quite the same. That was a fun show. Again, all of these videos I will link to in the description below. They don't give you enough little boxes to link to up here for all the videos. You can only do like 3 of them, I think, or 4 of them on each video. It's obviously not enough. So moving on, we have the Austin Healey 3000, a late Healey. This car makes my top 3 videos because it's just such a cool car. And here's just me bombing around in it on a side street. I never had driven anything like this before. It was probably the oldest car I've ever driven, I must say, 1967, I believe. So pretty much the last year of production. So they were outfitted with all of the goodies by then, overdrive and crank windows, and of course that wonderful sounding 3-liter straight 6 that they were known for. Let's take a look. This does drive so well. I was talking with Troy here earlier, and he said it ruins it for all of the other like so-called high-performance convertibles of that era, the Italian ones and all that. It's just got so much power, and you can kick the back end out so easily. I can't really do that in this neighborhood that easily, but wow, what a fun car this is to drive. I highly recommend it if you get the chance. Well, that was just a cool car. And moving on to another 6-cylinder British sports car, the Triumph TR6. It was just a great color. It was dropped off at my house for like 30 minutes. That's all the time I had. And I was sitting out front for like 10 minutes before I even had a chance to do anything with it. So this video was made on the fly, and I had no idea about most of the stuff on this car. And I caught a lot of flack about it in the comments with people saying, you didn't have the choke pulled out. I hadn't driven a car with a choke since 1997 or something, so it didn't even occur to me. Plus, nothing is labeled properly in this car, as we'll see right now, because I had a good laugh trying to figure out what these things are. That's obviously a fan. I guess that's a heater matrix. I don't know. I have no idea what that does. Adjust the steering wheel height in reference to the seat. Yeah, no clue. And now, boom, the #1 video of the year for Doug's Cars. Also caught a lot of flack in this. My attempt at humor in kind of diagnosing this issue with my BMW i3, apparently people who don't follow my channel and are subscribers, which if you're not, you go ahead and do that now because that'll help. They were very upset with me. Some of the electric car fanboys and all were really mad that I seemed to be a drama queen in this video, but it was my attempt at humor. And honestly, I wasn't sure what was wrong with the car when I made this video, but with over 5,000 views, it is my biggest video of the year. So anyway, here's what happens when you pull the little key out of the key fob and try to unlock the car when the battery's dead. Cover your ears, folks, or pull the headphones out if you're a headphone person. Actually, there is, you know what? There is a little key here that pops out. I wonder if there's a way to put this in somewhere. I wonder if this comes off. Oh, no, it doesn't. How on earth? Oh, wait, what's this? What's this? Ah, look at that. I had no idea that was there. I'm not that. Okay, that's open now. That's lovely. Oh, sorry, I was checking my messages there. So those are my top 10 videos of the year. And you know, I've just had so much fun making them over the year. What I did find when I was going through an SD card was this footage, and I mentioned at the beginning of my video, I would come to it later. This was going on 2 years ago, and when I visited Wichita, Kansas, I bought a car from Tyler Hoover. I hung out with Watch JR Go, and I mean, they were just great. But one of the things I did on my way out of town was I visited David the Car Wizard, whose channel has of course blown up in the last couple of years. Back then, I think he had, I don't know, 15, 20,000 viewers, or subscribers, I'm sorry. And, you know, but it was still, he had worked on this car and he had some of Hoovie's and JR's cars there. So I showed up at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, and I had no way of contacting him beforehand because of course his shop is closed. I probably could have texted JR or Hoovie to ask, but anyway, I didn't. And it's shaky cam, and I'm sorry, I had different camera back then and my gimbal was malfunctioning. So here, in all of its glory, just as a little throwback Thursday, since it's Thursday when I'm filming this, is when I met David the Car Wizard. Enjoy. I'm here at the Wizards. There's a couple cars here, but the lights aren't on yet. It's just before 8, which is when they open, so maybe they're in the back and the front hasn't been open yet. They haven't turned the lights on. So I'm hoping that they'll be pulling in shortly. Oh, he is. Very nice to meet you. Yes, you worked on this car. I'm driving that to Virginia. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think it'll make it fine.
I think so too. It's driving great. So, and I know you did a lot of work on it.
Yeah,
so.
We did a lot of work on that one, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing some more. I think so. It's developed a scrape sound when I drive. That's probably, I think it might be a stone stuck in behind the brake shield or something.
It could be, yeah.
Which I've had before in BMWs. So, anyway, great to meet you, and
be here. This is just like, I've been watching your videos. I've been watching, you know,
Oh, yeah?
JR's, Tyler's, all that. So
Cool.
JR's like, maybe he'll let you see the EXP. So I don't know.
Yeah, you come out, look at everything.
That'd be awesome.
I'll shut up.
Yeah, as I accost you first thing in the morning. Sorry about that, but I'm on my way out of town.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The DeLorean. They picked me up in the Phantom. I forgot to bring some Grey Poupon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
EXP's pretty much done.
Very nice. Yeah, he was saying you might have it running by the time I got here, but not quite, I guess.
I got a cap and a rotor to put
Yeah,
on
so
it.
yeah, so that's
And
awful
then-
nice.
Yeah, I think we're done with it.
Oh, your caddy. That's so cool.
Yeah. The old Cadillac.
And fun. Wow. This is just like, I've been like fanboying the whole time I've been here. It's just been great
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole weekend.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
We're getting about halfway done back together with it. And trugging along.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Well, that was awesome, folks. I met the car wizard, got the quick tour of the shop. I mean, I totally caught him unaware, and I apologize if you ever watch this, David, that I did that, but like I just happened to be coming here, and I just wanted to stop by and there's someone pulling it here. I just wanted to stop by and see the place. I didn't even know if he'd be here, just to see the outside of the building, just for fun, just because I'm here. I mean, I'm not in Kansas every week, and the fact that I was only a few miles out of town, managed to get myself a Car Wizard t-shirt, go buy one from him. That's the least I can do for stopping in and bothering him and having him show me all of the things that he's working on for Tyler. So with that, the trip continues.
I hope he doesn't hate me for doing that, but I'm sure he's had plenty of fans stop by randomly ever since then. Maybe who didn't. I did ask him if it was okay if I could bring the camera in before I did that. I will say that because he obviously saw me in the parking lot out front. But what a year it has been. I mean, in a good way. Look at all the fun times and all the awesome things I got to do with cars and you've gotten to see through my channel. I mean, we've got to have some good things that happened this year, right? Not everything was terrible. And on that note, I want to say thanks to all of y'all who have subscribe to me, who comment, who follow me on my other social media platforms. I'm even on TikTok. Yes, I'm an old guy on TikTok, but I've had tons of fun content on there, so check that out if you're so inclined. And again, please hit subscribe so I can keep doing things like this and hopefully bring another top 10 1 year from today. Thanks y'all so much for watching. Happy New Year!